Didn't even get to bronze.
What's going on YouTube? It's your boy DMD and I'm here with my buddy Drew who's playing Danger Dark World. This is in fact the newest structure deck that came out a couple of
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. How you liking the deck so far?
Sweet. I haven't played a non-linear combo deck in a while now, so it feels good to finally play one again.
That's fair. That's fair. So like, what does a deck like do?
So there's a couple ways you can approach your turns. So on certain hands, you'll want to just like set up a bunch of like negates with like Apollousa, the Fujigrapha, Dweller, Baguska, stuff like that. Or there's other hands where you just want to loop cards out of your opponent's hand with Cerulean and Silva, but still end on like Apollousa and stuff.
That's fair. Well, I guess we should go ahead and get into the Listerino.
Start off the list with 3 Rainbow Over King of the Dark World. This is one of the new cards that came out. So you can pick up a level 7 or lower Dark World and summon it from your graveyard. That affects, like, none of the effects on him are once per turn. Also, the effect to pick up a Dark World and summon him doesn't activate, so you can do it under Abyss Dweller. Then when he's discarded by your card effect, you add a level 5 or higher Dark World, and he's discarded by your opponent's card effect, you add a level 5 or higher, and then you special 4 or lower from your deck, so you essentially just like add 2 cards, because you'll just get discarded by an opponent's card effect, and then you'll pick up whatever you summon, so you'll essentially add 2 cards from your deck to your hand. 3 Grapha. It has the same pickup effect as Rainbow, but you can pick up any Dark World, so you can pick up something with Rainbow, and then you can pick up Rainbow to summon Grapha, so to keep your hand size full. And then when he's discarded by a card effect, you pop something. He has another effect when he's discarded by your opponent's card effect, but it like never comes up.
Unless you're playing the mirror for some reason.
Yeah, 3 Snow. The effect that matters on Snow is when it's discarded by a card effect, adds a Dark World card from your deck to your hand. It doesn't have to be the monsters, it can also be the spells and traps. Again, it has an additional effect if it's discarded by an opponent's card effect, but it does not come up. 3 Genta. Genta is one of the new cards. You can discard to add Gates of Dark World, which isn't once per turn. Then the effect when it's banished to summon a Dark World back. That is once per turn, but it is solid. Next, 2 Silva. When it's discarded by a card effect, it summons itself, and then the more important effect is when it's discarded by an opponent's card effect, it summons itself, then your opponent has to put 2 cards from their hand on the bottom of their deck. Again, not once per turn, but hopefully in your setup turn, you'll be able to Silva your opponent twice. Next, 2 Ceruli. Ceruli is really strong. So older builds of the deck didn't play Ceruli, but when it's discarded, it summons itself to your opponent's side of the field. So it turns off like Imperm, Gamma, evenly Storm, and other stuff. But when it's summoned to your opponent's field, it makes you, the Dark World player, discard a card. So you'll probably discard like Silva or like Rainbow to just either rip cards out of your opponent's hand or get a bunch of pluses. Next for the 1-0s, we play 1 Beige, just another level 4 extender. 1 Brow, this could be cut. This could get cut for like Zephyros or another level 4 extender. Just another name. Then Parl. Parl essentially is in here to reborn Ceruli to your opponent's board. It's the only reason we play it. Next, getting into the danger names. Play 3 Bigfoot. Ideally, this would be 2 Bigfoots and an Ogopogo. I just don't have my Ogopogo yet. It's at level 8 though. 2 Nessie. No mismatch rarities. Important thing to know about the dangers in this deck is only play dangers that translate to a 4 or an 8 in some capacity. Either they are a 4 or an 8 or can get to a 4 and 8. So that's why we don't play Tsuchinoko for that reason. 2 Thunderbird, again it's an 8. It also pops spells and traps. Mothman and Choop, because they're 4s. Jackalope, because it translates to a 4 or an 8. Next for the new card, Salamander Catalyzer. This card's sick. Essentially, while it's in your hand, you can reveal it and a Fiend. You can discard one of them and summon this usually. So you'll usually discard like a Dark World and then summon this. So it's another 4. It lets you make like your 4 4s like Dugaris, Dweller, or Baguska. It also has an effect of like if a Fiend battles and one of them gets blown up, you get to add this back to your hand for the spells. That plays a lot of monsters. Play 3 Gates. These cards are cracked. You can banish a Fiend from your graveyard, discard a card, draw a card, stop once per turn. 2 Accession. This card is ridiculous.
So this is one of the new cards.
This is
so-
the fusion spell.
Yeah.
You can you can banish materials from the graveyard or field, or if you're using materials from hand, you can discard them. And then while it's in the graveyard, you can discard a fiend to discard a dark world to add it back. Both effects are once per turn. Archives. I have a love-hate relationship with archives. It's fine. It's more draw power, and it's also another discard outlet. The vibe check. You ask your opponent when you have a 7-card hand, you have ash, and if the answer is no, you win the game. And then brainwashing. Brainwashing is new. So brainwashing, well, it's not a new card, but it's a new to the deck. Brainwashing says if you have 3 or more cards in your hand, you can pick up a Dark World, and then when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can pick up a Dark World, and then you randomly discard one, which isn't once per turn. So ideally, the idea is you have like Silva or Beige, like one of the ones that summon themselves. When your opponent activates a monster effect, you say, okay, Brainwashing, pick up Silva, and then if you hit the Silva, you get the Silva back, and then grab 2 more cards in your hand, and you can just Brainwash it again.
For the extra deck.
Extra deck, IP, lets you make off lose on your opponent's turn. Akashic, this is part of your setup combo, where you pick up Ceruli, and then Ceruli them again. Muckraker, another discard outlet. Unicorn, just generic removal. BLS Link, it lets you clear stuff. Soyuja lets you dig into the deck and is an extender. Appaloosa, more monster gates. For the Xyz, Coaching Giant Trainer, this card's mandatory, you have to play this card, this card's nuts. Draws 3 cards and burns for 2,400 usually. Zombie Stein. Stein's debatably cuttable, but I just wanted another like generic rank 8 that has a negate on it. Hope Harbinger, generic spell negate. Dugaris lets you dig into the deck. You'll never use any of the other 2 effects. Then Baguska and Dweller. I don't need to explain why these cards are good.
Good against tier and then plan B for Baguska.
Grapha, this card's nuts. It turns any of their your opponent's normal spell traps or monster effects into, you do discard a card, so you'll pitch like Silva, which summons itself and then rips 2 out of their hands, so they're essentially now 3 cards instead of 1. Then when he leaves the board, it floats into the old Grapha from anywhere, and both of you have a hand, you both discard 1. Side deck. Puppetry. This card is insane.
It's really good in like the tier matchup, isn't it?
It's really good against tier. It's really good against any graveyard deck. You discard a fiend, and then you banish 3 cards from a graveyard. Then once in the graveyard, you can banish it, add a banished fiend deck. HFD, back row removal. 1 lightning storm. I just needed a 15th space, so yup. 3 twins for a back row removal. Also pitching Danger off of this is really funny. This is gonna look weird. I don't have my other 2 evenlies in the mail yet, so I have 2 Dark Lords in it evenly.
But these are like in the
These
mail.
are supposed to be evenlies.
Fair.
Skill Drain. Skill Drain's really funny right now. It beats a lot of the meta. It beats Flu, it beats Tier.
I love how they included it in the structure deck to like encourage you to play it.
Yeah, and then Eradicator Epidemic Virus. Basically our whole deck can fit the condition for Eradicator, and it's super powerful right now. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yep. Imagine resolving an Eradicator on like a Flu player, and then they scoop it up. But anyway, that will be it for the profile. Drew, do you have any closing thoughts?
Nope.
Oh, that's fair enough. Anyway, it's me, it's that DMD, and your boy's out.
Didn't even get to cross.